Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing a 2022 Toyota Tundra 1794 edition. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this Tundra. Check out the inventory in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into the video. So under the hood we have a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 389 horsepower and then 479 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 17 around town and then 22 on the highway. Now let's go over the front end of the 1794 edition. So first off, you can see it's just flat there at the center of the hood and it kind of divots down before raising up. Definitely a cool aesthetic. It makes the Tundra look a whole lot more muscular. And then coming down to the grille, yes, it is massive. We've got the Toyota logo right there, camera below the logo, and then I love the aesthetic of the grille. And look at kind of like the little details on it. It says Tundra down below. We've got fog lights on either side, and then we have these daytime running lights with the LED headlamps, and then parking sensors here at the bottom. And other than that, well, that is the front end. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you can see here with the design on the wheel, we've got the silver on the top, and then you have that like dark metallic gray there at the center portion of the wheel. Looks fantastic. And then here's a quick look at the front suspension, and then notice with the fender flare, it's actually body painted here on the 1794. We have our 1794 edition plaque right there, and then you can see here with the mirrors, you got the chrome here at the top, and then it's black at the bottom, and then that black trim kind of continues on part of the window, but notice how there's like this abrupt line, and then it goes back to gray, kind of interesting. And then you've got chrome trim there at the bottom, chrome door handles, and then if we take a few steps back, you can see the full side profile of the truck. And then popping to the rear, you can see the exhaust tip poking out the side. So it's kind of hard to see, but you guys can see here, this one has the air suspension in the rear, which is definitely interesting. This is the first Tundra I've reviewed with air suspension. It's supposed to help out with ride quality is the big thing. And then also with towing is the other big thing as well, but kind of interesting to see that underneath. Now here's our key fob. We have our lock, unlock, the drop down for the tailgate Toyota logo as well, and nothing happened on the back. But if we hold this down, tailgate will drop down. We have a payload capacity of 1,310 pounds, towing capacity right around 10,000 pounds. And you guys can see the little step here as well. And notice how that was really fast. This one has the composite bed, as you can see, which is a huge upgrade. You got lights in the bed, we have a full outlet as well. And yeah, overall, definitely, you know, cool setup. It's large as well. And then when you're done, you do have to lift it up yourself. You guys can see pressing the button doesn't do anything. So you just gotta lift it up and put it back into place yourself. And then notice that will retract back automatically. That is pretty cool. And then also there's another way to lower down. So you press that and it'll all come out in unison again. So yeah, I think they did a pretty good job with that whole setup, and that's a cool feature. Finishing things up with the rest of the rear, you can see here with the Tundra logo there on the back, and then you got your 4x4 badge, we got the receiver hitch down below, parking sensors, and then we've got the chrome trim there on the bumpers, and well, we can't forget about the cool taillights as well. But there you go. Now here's the door panel in the rear of the 1794 edition. First off, you can see we've got the sunshade here in the back, and then we've got the leather trim here at the top, and then down below, look at the stitching and then more padding. And look at the wood trim and the graining on that. And then here are the seats. So you can see these leather seats, and then notice perforated there in the center, and then kind of stops, and then it's perforated again. And then power side steps you guys saw a little bit earlier. And then notice there you've got a grab handle, and underneath the seat, you can see the storage space. And then notice the floor mats here at the 1794. You can take out the cloth mats if you want. That's why there's those little plugs right there. And look at that, it says 1794 on it. But popping in, legroom, headroom, and then notice here with the pocket, couple cup holders, heated and cooled seats for the rear. We've got some outlets down below as well. And then we have our armrest cup holder situation. Let's head to the front. Now here's the front door panel. Again, same leather trim here at the top, and then you can see down below the stitching, and then down below that we've got all of our window controls. The mirrors do power fold, and you got your mirror adjustments, memory seats, and then look at the wood trim that goes across. blind spot monitoring with the mirror. And then here are the front seats, so you can see again with the leather headrest, and then notice perforated pretty much all over the seat. You can see the bolstering right there. Power adjustments on the side. I definitely love the aesthetic there. And then you can see the pedals down below. Another 1794 floor mat. And then we've got the cargo light right there. And then notice we've got some more light controls. Auto stop start, heated steering wheel control. And then for the outlets, the steering wheel is power adjustable. And then notice we've got more leather trim here. And then also on the dash as well. Let's pop in. Now here's the steering wheel with the 1794 edition. Notice the leather trim here at the top and at the bottom. And then we have this like golf ball texture here on the sides so you can get a little bit of a better grip. We've got our adaptive cruise control, lane departure assistance, and then stuff for the radio on the side. And then look at the metallic trim right there. And then notice stitching here around the airbag cover. Volume voice command controls, controls for the center stack, turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and there's the steering wheel. Now this has the full digital gauge cluster, and definitely cool from an aesthetic perspective. And if I give it a little baby rev, you can see like the tachometer go up. That looks pretty cool. But there are some different menus you can scroll through there on the side, as you can see, to see different bits of info like navigation, for example. You can see info on the truck as well, which is pretty cool. And so it's kind of like your little side information screen. And we do have some different drive modes here. So we've got quite a few. We've got our normal, comfort, eco, and notice that shows a little powertrain animation, which is pretty cool. And we have our sport, sport plus, and then our custom. And the reason it highlights things is it highlights exactly kind of what's being changed with the drive mode, which is, I think, pretty cool. Compared to like normal mode, basically. So you can see sport, right, changes the engine from normal mode, but then sport plus changes the engine and the dampers. So yeah, overall cool system. Now here's the infotainment system. First off, if we pop it into reverse, we've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and notice we have a bird's eye view as well. And I love the new camera on the Tundra. It's just fantastic. It shows viewpoints out of every single angle of the truck. Like, it's just crazy how good this camera system is. And you guys know that I took a limited TRD off-road, and that's weird to say. The camera system helped out quite substantially because of all the different camera views that the truck has. And so yeah, solid on that. Now as for the rest of the infotainment system, you have this sidebar here. It's like a shortcut bar basically. Response time's great. Now the one thing I will mention is, even though this is the larger screen, if you get the smaller screen, functionality is pretty much identical. It's just in a smaller format basically. So if you want like a larger camera view and just like a larger looking screen, then get this. But if you want similar functionality, the smaller screen pretty much does the same thing this does. Now we've got our climate controls here in this area, and then a little radio control as well. But dual zone climate, heated and cooled seats. Got a little USB there off to the side. Now we have our controls here for the suspension to raise and lower it, because this one does have the air suspension. We've got our hazard lights there in the center, stability control, and then this for the camera, and then the trailer assistance. Parking brake right here, shifter for the 10-speed automatic transmission. You can see the manual shift function right there. And then we have our drive mode select here, and then it's tow haul mode, and then your drive line select right next to it. So you can see you've got 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high, and then 4-wheel low. And then look at the center console with the wood trim. And again, the leather, and you can see you got a little pass-through window, but you can open it up all the way if you want. And then look at the wood trim here. This is just for the cup holders, but still looks nice. Also wireless phone charger. And then look at the dash here with all the nice leather trim. It says 1794 edition with some more nice wood trim. Then you got the glove box situation right there. And then finishing things up here at the top, you can see we've got a panoramic sunroof here at the top. Got the controls for the sunroof as well. And then we do have a sliding window. The whole window goes down. And then of course we got the camera mirror. Look at that. That is cool. So here's a window sticker for this 1794 edition. You guys can see the standard equipment and notice that the multi-link rear suspension is standard. And then you guys can see the rest of the equipment on this truck is standard. But also on optional equipment, we have the advanced package, which includes the load leveling rear height control air suspension, right? $1645 for that. You can see the rest of this stuff, including a dash cam. $66,013 the total MSRP. And we're gonna take a step back from this angle so you guys can see I raised the suspension to the highest setting now, so you can see how high that pops up. But the nice thing about the load leveling, right, is as you start to kind of increase the amount of stuff you have in the bed and it starts to sag down, the suspension will pop it up to help out with ride quality and all that. But then when you don't have it loaded up, right, it'll also still help out with ride quality as well. Now let's get some things up for our video on this 2022 Toyota Tundra 1794 edition. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Laird Schmiller Toyota here in Murray for giving me some time with this truck. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you guys in that next video.